The eCom Seller Summit was created to prove that with the right tools and training, anyone and everyone can make money in e-commerce. So many people want to try their hand at e-commerce, selling on eBay, Amazon, Shopify, and more, but they're afraid they won't be successful. This summit will show you that there's many ways to do e-commerce, and there are many platforms you can explore, because e-commerce really has no limits. It really can pay your bills, and e-commerce never sleeps. There's nothing like waking up to profits from getting sales all night long. My name is Nicole Whitlock, and this is the eCom Seller Summit. Hello, everybody. This is Nicole Whitlock with the eCom Seller Summit, and today's key feature speaker is Justin Maynor. Hey, Justin, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, Nicole?
I am hanging in there. There's a lot going on, but we are excited to bring all of you some great information about what you can do to help improve your journey while selling on Walmart and maybe other platforms. So, Justin, the floor is yours.
Great. Well, thank you for the introduction. As you mentioned, I am Justin Maynor. I lead DataSpark. We are the first and the oldest data provider for Walmart.com. And we have the most comprehensive set of features to help you grow and scale your business on Walmart. And this has been a lot of fun. I put my team at work crunching a bunch of numbers, looking at the data and talking to sellers and really trying to distill this down into what are the top 5 ways that you can grow on Walmart.com.
Well, we're looking forward to this. So I'm going to go ahead and share your screen because it's going to be great information, guys. Top 5 ways you can grow your business on Walmart. So grab the pen and paper. I have mine right here. So let's go after it.
Awesome. So yeah, just wanted to start off and say, you have a lot of options and you could be looking at Shopify or eBay, Etsy. And so I wanted to just give a really brief overview as to why you might be thinking about Walmart. Now, I'm going to spend most of my time on how to win, but I want to go over why, who is winning today on Walmart, and then finally, how they're winning. And so Walmart, as you may have heard, is now the number 2 marketplace. They've surpassed eBay. And yes, they're far behind Amazon, but there's some really favorable things that Walmart is doing. Most notably is there's really 3 big pillars of e-commerce that you have to do to succeed, which is have great selection. And they've now opened this up to many sellers to where selection is growing like crazy. Sharp prices. Walmart has always been the undisputed price leader, even in e-commerce. And then you have to have great convenience. And that's kind of the winning e-commerce formula. And Walmart in these last few years has really pulled all those pieces together and it's working.
Yep.
And so one of the things that you'll see is that there are more and more sellers that are finding opportunity. We launched DataSpark about a year ago in February of last year. And we were impressed then with the growth. We were up to 77,000 sellers, up from 37,000 the year before. And we were looking at that saying like, wow, something is going on. Something's working. There's a lot of people gravitating over towards Walmart.
Wow.
When we fast forward to today, we're up to almost 136,000 sellers. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing. And part of what people are gravitating towards is that there are now almost 120 million unique visitors monthly. There's actually a lot more traffic than people realize going to the Walmart marketplace. Walmart is really investing here. And the results are there. They had 69% sales growth in Q4, and I think it was above 70% for every quarter of last year. So really seeing strong growth, a lot of sellers coming over here. It's definitely something to be paying attention to right now.
I did not know those stats, so thank you for sharing that. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Awesome. So looking just a little bit at the seller opportunity analysis that I had my kind of team put together here, you'll see that we all know about Amazon. You've got about 1.5 million active sellers, and they have 214 million monthly visitors. So when you just do the math there of the amount of visitors per seller, you get about 143 visitors per seller that you're kind of competing for in that space. Now, comparing that to Walmart, as we mentioned, has about 136,000 sellers and 118 million monthly visitors. So they only have 9% of the sellers as Amazon, but about 55% of the traffic. And so when you kind of do the math there, there's about 6x the opportunity on Walmart versus Amazon when it comes to number of customers per seller. So a lot of opportunity to look at here. So I really want to spend the bulk of my time on, or actually we'll get into this who is winning now, and just kind of look at a high level analysis. So Walmart.com, Walmart does about $75 billion in sales, is the estimate. And about 65% of that is coming from Walmart.com. So the brands that they sell. And the majority of that, when we've looked at it, are their in-store brands. They really promote them, and they seem to get a really big boost in .com if they are also a partner with them in the stores. But that still leaves about 35% that is going to the sellers, which is really where we've been focused. And I think kind of what the focus of this is all about. That's about $26 billion that's on the table for 3P private label and 3P wholesalers.
Oh, that's good. That's good numbers. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah, a big space. I think far bigger than what many people realize, that Walmart has built a great platform here. So looking at breaking those down even a little bit further, between what type of seller. Now, there's not perfect information to get this, but we try to kind of proxy how many of these sellers are selling their own private label brand versus going out there and finding like the national brands, the ones that are the wholesales, or forming direct brand relationships, but other sellers are also going to be able to get those relationships. And so when you break it down, the resale or wholesale market is about 17.9 billion. And that's about 68% of the 3P sales that are out there. And then private label, or it could be those that have exclusive relationships. We kind of looked at this based on how many sellers are on that listing, and if that brand is carried by multiple sellers or not. And that's about 8.3 billion, or about 31%. So both are really big opportunities, but by and large right now, the game on Walmart is going out and finding just the brands that are accessible to everybody and getting them on Walmart because there's such a big selection gap out there today. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, that's a great opportunity for the resellers. I'm a reseller. There's a lot of us that are resellers, but there's even, those people that decide that they're going to do private label. I mean, 31% is nothing to balk at. So there's just so much more opportunity to potentially get more traffic and more sales on your products if you get started on Walmart. So you guys need to get started on Walmart, seriously.
Yeah, and really, as you'll see, there's many aspects of this story about Walmart that really shows that they're following many of the same trends that we saw on Amazon, where earlier, back up 7-10 years ago, and it really was kind of a resale wholesale game, and private label was just getting started. But as time has gone on Amazon, private label has gotten bigger and bigger, and I think you're going to see some of those same trends. So today, it really is the resale wholesale game is big. Private label will continue to grow and be a big part of that as well. But so you can pick whichever flavor you like. There's kind of the numbers to help you make a decision there.
Absolutely.
All right, now we're going to focus most of the time here on how, and I'm really excited to share. There's so much good information here to get it. So the first tip and the strategy is we've talked to sellers, seen what they're doing that's winning, is the focus on keywords. Now, keywords are amazing because that's how to get inside the heads of a customer. What are they looking for on Walmart.com? Now, the first thing you have to realize about keyword research is that Walmart is not Amazon. And if you just come over here and kind of look at the top 10,000 keywords and what their ranking is on Walmart versus Amazon, it's really clear that there's a lot of differences. These are not the same platforms. You can see there's all kinds of keywords here where the rank on Walmart is completely different than the rank on Amazon. And so I've just put together this little dashboard here that tries to highlight some of the diamonds versus the duds. So if you're a seller and you're thinking, hey, I'm just going to take my Amazon catalog and I'm going to dump it onto Walmart, and boom, I'm going to get about 10% of the sales that I see on Amazon because that's roughly the entitlement I think we should get. I've seen many sellers do that, and they get on there and they have like 2-3% of the sales. And it's like, what's going on? And this is the big piece of it, is that it is just different. And so take this top one for an example. On Walmart, one of the top keywords is KN95 face mask. That's ranked number 4 on Walmart, but number 705 on Amazon. On the other hand, N95 masks is the number 1 keyword on Amazon today. and only 751 on Walmart. And so for whatever reason, Walmart customers want those, the only difference between those two is the fit requirements that it has. But for whatever reason, Walmart customers have a higher demand for KN95 masks, whereas Amazon is looking for more N95 masks. So if you're a seller and you have access to these or only have time for one or the other, KN95 is where you should be putting your time and effort. And you can see there's a lot of interesting things on here. Yellowstone season 1, 2, and 3. Now, I watch these keywords all the time, and this one suddenly popped up. I don't know what happened, if Walmart did a promotion or what, but suddenly everybody was looking for this Yellowstone season 1, 2, and 3. So if you're a seller that does any kind of accessories or complementary items and you want to jump on a trend, if you're just looking at the Amazon data, you're going to miss trends and high value trends that are also happening on the Walmart marketplace. So being able to come out here, see unique things that are happening for Walmart customers, and then jumping on those trends, most people don't know about that, and you're going to find little pockets of opportunity that you didn't know about.
I was literally having a very similar conversation with a seller who does very well, reseller on Amazon. And he was like, I am not doing so hot on Walmart. I said, you cannot take your listings from Amazon and just plop them on Walmart and expect them to perform the same way. They do not. They will not. The structure of a significant, like the titling, the descriptions, you've got to make some updates to that. You can't just copy it over. It's not going to work that way. So I'm going to have to make sure that I plug him into this session because he needs to know about this.
Yeah. So let's go one layer deeper into this. Okay. So what we've done here, a lot of data here, but let me break this down to try to make it pretty simple here. So what I have here are 10 of the top keywords where there is very low relevancy in the search results. One of the big opportunities is you're always looking for like high demand and low something that creates an opportunity. In this case, I'm looking for low relevancy in the search results. So what I did is we just pull up the top 80 results for every one of these keywords, and we see how often is this keyword an exact match in the title. And so let me pull this up and show you what I mean here. If I look on Walmart for this KN95 face mask search term, and then I'm just going to take this phrase and I'm going to search for it. And what you'll find is that on this first page, there is not a single product on here that has that keyword in the title. So this means one of two things. Either one, there are no K95 face masks on there. And you can see there that if you look down through here, you'll see a lot of these aren't KN95. So there's just missing selection. And so if you're somebody who has access to KN95 face masks, you've got a big opportunity to come and serve what this customer needs. Or two, what's happening is you'll see that there are some of these that are KN95, but they're not using the highest volume search keyword that people are using. And so this one is saying KN95 silicone storage. That's actually a storage bag. So it's not actually the face masks. But for every one of these listings, especially if you're down here on the second and the third or the fourth page, and you want to figure out how to break into the first page of a high volume search keyword, boom, put KN95 face mask exactly in your title, and that's going to start boosting your relevancy. One of the things you have to understand about keywords is that unlike Amazon, you don't have these hidden fields where you can kind of put some of these keywords. And so you have to get your titles and your descriptions right in order to have the same search relevancy that you're expecting.
And do you recommend that those keywords be put in the first 5 places of the title? Or do you have a recommendation, first 3, first 5, first 7?
From what I've seen, I don't know. I've only heard anecdotes that earlier is better, but I actually haven't seen the data kind of come out on that. I don't know if we've gone as deep to see if that really matters. I can tell you one other tip about titles. We have done a bunch of analysis on titles, and the length really does matter. Trying to get to that 75 character, like it does, from what I can tease out of the data, it does seem like Walmart dings you if you go over the character limit. I can't remember what do they say. It's over 100, I think, is what they have. I can't remember the exact recommendations anymore. But if you go over, we actually could see a drop in sales when we did these like regression analysis. You can see that too long of titles it does seem to hurt you, whether because customers don't like it or Walmart does ding you for that. And if you get too short, like below 50 characters, that hurts you as well. So somewhere in that like 75 character sweet, 75 to 100, I think was the sweet spot to be.
Okay. I made a note of that. I will remember that forever now. That's going to help me on my bundles. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, it's a good question, and I kind of want to go back to my team, and every time I do these analysis, like opens more question, and I always like seeing if I can grab the actual data to say, does it really matter or not? So big opportunity. One thing I just wanted to point out here is, in comparison, Amazon sellers get this. You can see this as an opportunity. If you do that exact same search term, it shows up 73 times in the first page of search results. Every single one of these people realize that you have to have these search keywords exactly in there. And so it's all over the place. So Walmart sellers don't get it yet. Big opportunity for those that get it.
Okay.
And that's what I'm seeing is those that get this are thriving, just like those on like they're playing the game on Amazon. Play that same game on Walmart, and it's gonna work.
All right.
Cool. Let's see here. So, so lots of opportunities, tons of things to go through here. All right. So the second way to look at this is to look at, we want to look for highly ranked keywords, but where there's not very highly reviewed products. So there's opportunity to have a good quality product because the quality is insufficient. And so we're looking for the gap there. So here I have some of these that have a really decent rank, but there's a few ways to look at this. One is you want to have products that have over 30 reviews. And so you can see KN95 has 44 products that have over 30 reviews, but I come down here and sleds, there's only one product on Walmart that has over 30 reviews in sleds. So this is an amazing opportunity to go out there, make sure you get a sled that you know people are going to like, get it in the hands of customers, use the white hat tactics in order to generate enough reviews. And now you are going to stand out from the crowd because there are just so few reviews out here. Another way to look at this is to look at the average reviews. And you'll see all of these are below 4 stars. That's partly why I picked them. And then finally, to look at the best product, the number one search result, what are the reviews on that one? And when I pulled this data, the top sweater for women under that search word only had a 1.3 star review. Now let me just kind of show that to you live. It's changed since I ran this, but you can kind of get the point here. The top results when it comes to sweaters for women, the top results are not very good. 4 reviews and 3.5 stars, 2 reviews, 3.5 stars. There is just not, this is a top search keyword that people are looking for on Walmart, but as sellers, we have not come and delivered for them what they're looking for. And so low quality products. So this is an opportunity to go and find those sweaters that you know are going to win, that you've got to learn this market, get a bunch of reviews on there, get high quality reviews, and you stand to win.
Oh my goodness, you stand to really dominate the market. That is actually a great. Oh my gosh, I did not know that piece of data was inside of DataSpark. I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah, and here's the thing I put down here. I just looked at the top 1,000 keywords, so I didn't even go that deep into the keywords.
Right.
And of the top 1,000, 800 of them have product results where less than half of the 80 items have over 30 reviews. Hopefully that makes sense. A lot of numbers in there. But basically what we were saying is if a fully optimized keyword, all of the items would have over 30 reviews. And so even if you say the defect is less than half of them have over 30 reviews, well, then 80% of the top 1,000 keywords don't have sufficient highly rated selection to match what customers want. So lots of opportunity. If you look at the first search results, there are 83 of the top 1,000 keywords on Walmart that have the first search result has less than 4 stars. So again, just opportunity to go find those keywords. And there's so many good people that are out there with private label that say, okay, go read through the negative reviews, figure out what people want and deliver exactly what they want.
Absolutely.
You've got to go find that profitable, high demand niche that's out there.
I mean, you literally could take whatever you're doing in your business for those people who are like trying to scale their business, like just taking this data and then going to go find those quality products to fill in the gap. That will literally just take your business to a whole nother level. You could just do that for the rest of the year.
Yeah. I mean, it's like shooting fish in a barrel in many ways.
There you go.
There's a lot of opportunity right now. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. I love this.
Cool. So that covers keyword research. The second thing we wanted to go over is finding high volume, low competition pockets of opportunity. So if we come back here and actually I wanted to show you this first. So this analysis that we did is just starting to look at the high level categories. And what we wanted to show you here is just kind of get a lay of the land. On the bottom, you have how big a category is. And on the left, you have how much competition there is, really focused on Walmart as a competitor. And we'll kind of get into a little bit of why we focus on that in just a minute. And so what this shows, if you look at this top right-hand corner, grocery is the biggest category right now on Walmart. And this makes sense. You know, they have their pickup and delivery, and they really focused a lot in winning in this space compared to Amazon. But Walmart is an aggressive competitor there. They're on almost every product, and so far, sellers haven't found as big of a niche and a way to compete there on that. Versus if you look down at the bottom, the home category is also really big. On that bottom scale, it's far over on the right-hand side, but it's lower on the Walmart competition. 3P sellers are finding a lot of footholds here, and they're getting a lot of traction. And so a lot of the shares are going there. And so you can kind of look at this and see. So the great categories for 3P sellers today at a high level are home, health, auto and tires, clothing, I'd even say, beauty, home improvement, sports, office supplies, toys, patio and garden electronics. All these are great areas for 3P sellers to be playing in. Now, the truth is you can double click on any one of these categories and find all kinds of pockets of high demand, low competition brands and products. And so I had my team do a bunch of analysis on the electronics category. We like that. It's got a lot of high price points and a lot of goodness there. And so I want to show you some of the things that we found in the electronics category for high demand, low competition.
Okay.
So, all right. So first of all, what we did is we just took, in electronics, we have about 285,000 items that we're tracking. These are all the top items that have any movement at all on there. There's still a long tail of stuff that does nothing, but this, for all intents and purposes, covers pretty much the entirety of electronics on Walmart. And so what we did is we broke it down by how many offers are on those products. And so the key one I want you to look at is an item where you're competing with 10 other sellers, I would call highly competitive. Because if you go out and source that product and put your listing, it's going to be tough. You're going to have to really lower your prices, squeeze your margins in order to get any share of the sale that's on there. But the key thing to note is that that's only 21% of the revenue in the electronics category. And so almost 80% of all the sales in the electronics category are on items that have low to medium competition. So what that means is that what I found is that most sellers are not that are winning aren't looking so much for low competition areas as they are just high demand areas, because Walmart it's just not competitive like it is for Amazon yet. This will change. But by and large, if you go find something that has high demand, there's more often than not a lot of competition.
Right.
Now that's true about other sellers. The other way that the sellers that are winning are looking at competition and finding low competition is competing against Walmart is tough. Walmart is a really, really tough competitor. And so, but what you can see is of these 285,000 listings out here, Walmart is only on 15,000. Now they're on probably some of the best of the 15,000. They take a huge chunk of it, like we talked about in the other thing. You know, it's like 65% of all sales is going to Walmart. Mm-hmm. But still, there's a ton of opportunity, almost 270,000 items that you can find to analyze to try to get into the high demand pockets. So what I did is we've broken this down here, taking out Walmart and just looking at the top brands that don't have and taking out all the listings, all of the products that have Walmart on them, and just looking at the 3P only items. And what you'll see is right now in electronics, Apple is going gangbusters. Ton of revenue going to Apple and HP. And so the key opportunity here is really just going down brand by brand and saying, which of these can I get access to? And if I have access to them, making sure Walmart isn't on there because they're tough to compete against. But then don't worry too much about the other competition and list these and that's where you're going to do this. Now, of course, you're going to want to double click and find the actual items that are on there. But that's a key strategy that we're finding people winning, is it's just really easy to go out there, take Walmart out of the mix, look at everything that's left, and boom, plenty of opportunity to go out there and add items within the brands that you can get access to on this list.
I love that. So that means you all need to go out and get connect with a distributor for some electronics if you want to sell electronics. It looks like there's an opportunity there, but I'm sure that, again, this is them just taking the initial high level dive into this. There are so many other areas in which you can jump into.
Yeah.
I mean, I think about lawn. We're about to, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be spending money just in lawn and home improvement over the next 2 months. Just the insanity there, and sports and outdoors, because of the fact you're going into the spring and you're going into the summer. So those are all opportunities. If you've got wholesale accounts, if you've got connections with distributors, that's an opportunity to jump into.
Yeah, literally every one of these you can kind of, electronics isn't one of the biggest ones that we jumped into. You can take any one of these, and there's just so much opportunity like that of just finding places where you're not competing against Walmart. There's not a lot of other sellers that are out there on most of the items, and you can take a lion's share of the sales. So let's get into this one. This is probably the one I'm most excited to share with you here.
Okay.
Is WFS. So Walmart Fulfillment Services. So for those of you those that don't know, Fulfillment by Amazon is what you can use on the Amazon side. The equivalent on Amazon is Walmart Fulfillment Services. And so I've got a live example here of this Nintendo Switch where you can see that Nationwide Distributors is a Walmart Pro seller using Fulfilled by Amazon. Fulfilled by Walmart, excuse me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what this means is that they own the inventory, they own the price, they own this product page, but they're shipping the inventory into Walmart's fulfillment centers to use Walmart's best-in-class global network or network of supply to be able to ship this to the customers. So here's the key about this is you've got to realize there are 16 other sellers of this product. But what happens is that these 16 don't really matter. The only person who matters is who wins the buy box. This thing is selling about 734 units, about $55,000 in sales. And the vast majority of this is going to Nationwide Distributors because they are in the buy box. Okay, now if we click on this compare all sellers, here's what's interesting about that. Nationwide Distributor is selling this for $76.99. This seller here, Golden Century Deals, is selling it for $76. They're actually 99 cents cheaper than Nationwide Distributors. And if you go down the list to the next one, this CNC Trading Corp, they are selling it for $74.95, which is over $2 cheaper than Nationwide Distributor. And yet Walmart chose not to feature them in the buy box, but to feature this Nationwide Distributors. And the reason why is because they have a WFS offer and these two do not. And the rest of the trade. So I've heard this. I just talked to a seller yesterday, and they've kind of confirmed what we've seen in the data, which is for lower price items, they will get a $2.50 price advantage over somebody else who's not using Walmart Fulfillment Services.
Wow.
And we've seen on some of these higher price point items, like a 5% delta. When you think about this buy box algorithm, yes, Walmart takes into account the price, and they want to give the customer a great price that they put here. But it goes back to that selection, price, and convenience. They want to give them something that has best-in-class, world-class shipping, and that is Fulfillment by Walmart because it's 2-day shipping. It's this expedited shipping. And they know that if, just like Amazon has this super fast shipping, this is one of those things you have to compete on. Customers have come to expect it. And so they'd rather put a higher priced offer that has great shipping than these lower priced offers that don't have great shipping. Oh. So I worked at Amazon I started in 2008, and I ran the home improvement business back in 2009. And it was so funny because I was last year at the Prosper Show, and I ran into this seller, and I just started talking with them and saying, "Hey, are you on Walmart?" He's like, we tried Walmart. It was okay. We had some issues and decided it wasn't worth our time when we got out of it. I was like, oh, okay, so be it. And I said, hey, I recognize your name. I feel like I worked with you back when I ran the home improvement category at Amazon. And he's like, you know what? I archive all of my emails. Let me go and check. And so a little later on in the show, I get an email from him saying, hey, yep, we did cross paths. Here's an email exchange I had with you. And I look up at the email exchange, and this was me trying to convince him that he should be using FBA at Amazon. And in the email, he was saying like, oh, I tried FBA and had some problems with it, and it really just wasn't for me. Well, in the email string, I was able to kind of overcome his concerns, work with him, and he did FBA. And when I talked to him, FBA was working great for them. They love Amazon FBA. So I just emailed him back and said, hey, I hope you can see my FBA recommendation was spot on back then, and that getting on Walmart is the thing to do today.
And I hope that he actually takes action on that.
Yeah. And so what I'm telling you is like, there's tons of opportunities still on Amazon FBA, but WFS is the next big land grab for opportunity. And it's so easy right now. Let me take you back to this analysis that we were looking at in electronics. If you look at, these are all the items where we mentioned that Walmart isn't selling. Well, look how many people have WFS on these. Of Apple, there's 4,354 items and only 13 WFS offers. So imagine if you're the first one to go and you have access to the Apple products and you're going to have the WFS offer, you stand to gain the bulk of this 34.6% sales that are the percentage of the revenue that's out there. And you're able to do so at a margin that's better than your competitors because of that $2 to up to 5% gap that Walmart will allow you to have and still give you the buy box. So it is a major opportunity for people to go out there and be one of the first early adopters of what is going to be the WFS land grab that's happening.
Oh, man, that's an opportunity, guys. If you didn't write that down, you need to write that down now.
So
Get your Walmart account created, and then you need to sign up for WFS, enroll in it. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. So just this week we were talking to another customer, and yeah, they said that they've been doing Walmart for years now, and just this last year got into WFS, and they said their sales are up 300% year over year, and they're attributing most of that to WFS and what they're doing with that. So
Nice.
Again, it's a no-brainer. Like, you find these pockets. I mean, this one already has a WFS seller. Come out here and find the highest demand listings that don't have WFS, and you're golden. And get access to those brands, and you stand to win.
Nice. Again, that's another example of shooting fish in a barrel. Another one. Oh my goodness. All right. I love that.
All right. So last two, strong reviews. So let me jump into this one here. So we have access to just looking at pretty much all of the sellers that are out there. Who are the big sellers on Walmart? And so I had my team. I said, I really want to be able to tease out of this data, and we have all kinds of information about them: what their rating is, the review count, the reviews over time period, their percent positive. How many listings of those have Walmart Fulfillment Services, how long they've been around, what their estimated units and sales, the buy box percentage, all kinds of stuff. And so I had my team say what matters, what doesn't. And what we found is that it did confirm a lot of the stuff that I've already shared with you around, like, those that use WFS absolutely have a boost in sales and are doing better. Two of the areas, though, that were a bit surprising to me was first the seller rating. Now, as you know, customers can leave a review on the seller, and intuitively we know that those reviews we want them to be really good. But you can actually see, just looking here at some of the top sellers, that many of them don't have fantastic reviews. And so I think this does create an opportunity, but what our analysis showed is that, okay, it's not the number one most important thing to focus on. These other strategies are more important in order to grow, because you can overcome it if you're adding selection, finding good keywords to compete on, using WFS, that can tend to overcome it. So it's important, but not the most important. What I found, and so I had them really focus, and you can kind of see here, like there's this guy here. Man, they're at 4.9. They've just shot up recently. They didn't even exist, and new one, gathering a bunch of new reviews, and voila, they're in the top 20, almost the top 20. So specifically focusing on new sellers, what I did is I had them use this model that they kind of put together, and you can see if it's somebody new and they're kind of getting their first 10 reviews, they're not using WFS yet, they have the exact same number of listings, but the only difference is that one has an average rating of 3.5 and the other one 4.0. You're going to expect this guy to have about 12% higher sales than this other seller. And of course, over time, that is going to create more and more of a wedge, as this seller too, if they consistently have that performance, are going to draw in more sellers than this guy over here. So an important strategy, not as important as the other ones, but still something to focus on. And you can kind of see, roughly how important it is with that about 12% increase that you're going to see.
Nice.
Good. The other thing that came out of here is, I mentioned before, I'm kind of Amazon classically trained. So, selection was just like pounded into my brain, and we grew so many businesses at Amazon by just adding selection. And when I led pets for a while, and the mantra was just add selection left and right, add everything that we could, throw spaghetti at the wall, see what sticks.
Nice. Yes.
And you can see here as well, there are many sellers. Look at this listing count. There are many sellers that have huge catalogs and kind of grown successful in part because of having a big selection count. It only makes sense that if you're selling dog food and you move into dog treats, you now have 2 addressable markets, and you should grow. So, adding more brands, adding more products, it just makes sense. So I wanted to see if we could tease out, does that work for new sellers as well? How much should they be focusing on selection? And the results were a little surprising.
Okay.
In a similar way, you can see that there's also a lot of people up here that don't have that big of selection and yet are one of the top sellers. And so I had them put together a couple of models here. You don't have to worry too much about all the details here, but basically what this says is that there is a correlation between having a bigger catalog and having higher sales. It explains about 40% of that correlation that's there. But when you try to control for all the different factors that could influence this and keep everything constant with like the number of new reviews, and we're assuming it's kind of a smaller seller, average rating we're going to say is about the same, not great. And that the only thing that's really difference between these two is one has about 100 and the other one has about 1,000. What's interesting is, based on this model of looking at actual data and trying to predict what might happen, it doesn't help. In fact, the one that focused on bringing in 1,000 is slightly lower than the one that just focused on having 1,000. Now, I think what the summary of this, and we'd have to keep going deeper to really try to tease out, using data, what this means. But my theory here is, and from what I found, is that especially when you're young, focusing on selection is good and trying to go out and find new brands, but it needs to be quality selection. It needs to be selection that people are actually looking for. I've seen a lot of people come on and they'll add a bunch of dog leashes or dog collars or T-shirts or arts and crafts sewing beads and things that are right in the tail of the catalog, and they can very quickly amass this catalog of 10,000, 20,000. And so the people that we see that are really winning are out there crunching the numbers on these big catalogs. They'll get a big wholesale catalog with 50,000 SKUs on there, and they'll run it through a wholesale analyzer to be able to then spit out, okay, here are the ones that you should focus on. And so being able to keep focused on things that customers actually want will remove that distraction of having this big catalog that you're managing, but a lot of it customers don't care about as much.
Okay, so this is what I want to say. What he just said in the last 2 minutes, 3 minutes, you need to just rewind and listen to that again, because that's definitely how you're going to win on Walmart. It also applies on other platforms, but it's really going to help you hone in on being able to scale your business a little quicker, especially if you are a new seller. You got to get good at it. And he just gave you a golden tip. So just rewind. All right. I love that.
Awesome. So that's kind of my fifth and final point, only adding good selection. Otherwise, the low quality selection kind of distracts you. In the end, I'm a huge selection advocate. And there are 600, I mentioned this before, but there's about 600 million SKUs on Amazon, only 100 million. So much opportunity for just adding selection, but focus on making sure it's good selection.
Absolutely.
So those are my 5 points that I wanted to make. and then wanted to just share a little bit more about what we do. And so one of the strategies we've had, I'll put a kind of shameless plug in here. We think winning sellers are using DataSpark. We talk to very happy customers every day who are using us to grow. Just a little bit of backstory here. I was at Amazon for 10 years. I've been in the retail space for over 20 years, and about e-commerce now for about 12 years. So I left Amazon a couple of years ago, and one of the opportunities that kind of landed in my lap is I had some buddies that said, hey, we are hearing left and right sellers complaining that they don't have any tools for Walmart, and yet they're now the #2 marketplace. And so we went out on some Facebook groups and started talking to brands and some of my old contacts. And sure enough, everybody was like, it is painful over here on Walmart because there's just no tools like you have that are so well established on the Amazon side.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I look, the first time that me and my business partner, we create bundles on Walmart, and it was like, she said, it just takes so long and it's so difficult. And this is it is different. It is not Amazon for sure. There's some differences, major differences. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so over the last year, we have worked like crazy to try to offer this, not just a single tool, but the suite of tools to kind of fill that void. And we've been regularly talking, and a lot of these strategies that I've talked about are from us talking to sellers saying what's work and how can we help you. And we've really tried to fine tune our tools to do these exact strategies to help them, whether it's keyword research, we have a wholesale file analyzer, we have demand estimates at the product and the brand and the seller level. We have custom reports that we've built for people that are like big enterprise customers that are doing massive data crunching that is exactly what they need. And it's really helping them win. In fact, one of our customers that I mentioned to, I was talking to this week, and asking her what she liked about DataSpark, and she was telling us all these things. And she's like, I've been using Keepa for years, and I actually like you guys better than Keepa. I was like, whoa, I know we still have some rough spots. And so it was flattering for her to say that. And I don't know if I could personally agree with that. I think we still have some room for improvement, but it was great that she's finding more value out of it than what she gets out of her Keepa software.
And that's actually, I mean, that's nothing to balk at. That actually is a very good compliment for those who use Keepa. I mean, Keepa has some great information. I was, that's how I cut my teeth on trying to do data analysis was with Keepa. And so I know my business partner likes you guys, likes your tool. I don't have it yet, but I use it. She uses it, and I just get information from her because we kind of work certain things together when we're putting bundles together and things like that. But I am going to actually dig into this year, guys. And so I will tell you what I think about DataSpark, because I feel like the data that she's getting is helping us make really good business decisions around our bundles. So, if we're clearly moving products, we're clearly doing okay. And so I told her, so this year we're going to scale. So if DataSpark is how we're going to scale, I'm happy to be able to use the tool. So I'll let you guys know. But I love that compliment because that's good. That's good information to know.
Yeah, let me show you. Thinking about bundles. Oh yeah, this Batman toys. See, this is one of these where there are 0 exact matches out here. If you look on Walmart, and so my thought here was you need to have a Batman toys bundle, and you would be the only seller out here that would have. And this thing is ranked number 125 on Walmart. So you would be the only seller with the exact keyword in the title for the keyword that is ranked 125. So go bundles. Bundles makes it easy because some of these are a little bit awkward keywords to try to put into a title. Unless you're doing bundles. Batman toys, you're going to put that in the title, but Batman toys bundle, that totally makes sense.
Yeah, bundles are where it's at. There's a lot of opportunity. So this year, all the movies, there's a lot of movies coming out because there were several movies that were delayed because of COVID. And so this year is going to be a major opportunity for those people that are approved to be able to sell. Well, on Amazon, it mattered significantly if you could sell certain brands. On Walmart, you don't have the same level of restrictions, but there are some guidelines. But in any case, you're going to have a great opportunity if you're selling. We used to do themed bundles all the time based off of movies that came out. There's going to be a lot of stuff coming out this year. So the opportunity is going to be endless for us. We'll just be like, okay. So I'll let you know how we did with the end of the year. Be like, okay, Justin, let me just tell you how we did. It's like, or you can go see on your own.
Yeah.
This is going to be amazing.
Yeah, I love it. And I think many people, are kind of have asked the question, Walmart or no. And we definitely talked to a lot of customers who come and Walmart wasn't big enough for them. And one of the reasons we've developed all these strategies is to help those customers and say, okay, well, tell me what you were doing. How were you doing it? All right, let's get you on a winning strategy so that Walmart does work for you. Because, there's a lot of pockets of Walmart where it's really small. And so
Yes.
that's why these strategies work. You got to know where the high demand is. You got to know where customers are going. They're searching for some things on Walmart. And other things they're not, even though it's big on Amazon. They're two different sets of customers, even with the overlap that you have. So.
Yeah, you also got to find that low competition, which is one of the things that I like about the fact that they have, you said it, 136,000 sellers. I mean,
Yeah.
that's terribly low competition.
Yeah.
So again, if you actually have products that you're selling really well on Amazon and there's not a lot of competition for it on Walmart, you just I don't know why you just don't go get that money. I mean, really, seriously.
Yeah.
There's an opportunity there.
Well, good.
So Justin has an amazing bonus for you guys. I will let him tell you. Go ahead, Mr. Justin.
Yeah, so we wanted to give a discount to anybody watching this. And if you use the coupon code eComSellers50, we will give you 50% off any of our packages for the first 6 months. So that should be plenty of time to go out there and get the power package that gives you full access to everything. That's $99 a month. We give it to you for $50 a month. That should give you a big head start and really to give you time to sink your teeth in, see if this works for you. Additionally, for anybody that does the all access pass for this summit, we will be giving you 75% off that first month to really kind of get you in there, try it out, and hope it works for you.
All right. So what you guys need to do is you need to grab the all access pass. There's going to be a link somewhere on this page. Just go ahead and grab it so you can get your 75% off. Look, either if you don't get the all access pass, still getting 50% off is fantastic because you're going to make all your money back. You're going to use the data that's going to come out of DataSpark that's going to help you to make 100% of your monthly subscription back. That's what you should always be into profit before you buy any software. And so the information that is in DataSpark is going to help you make all your money back. Trust me. If it's working for us and we're doing bundles, you got to know. You just got to know. So I am so glad. Oh, look at that. Questions.
Yeah.
Interested 101. There you go.
I love chatting with customers and sellers. And so, feel free to anytime shoot me a message at justin@dataspark.co for Amazon or Walmart. I do I do Amazon consulting as well. So always happy to kind of give my 2 cents on things. And you can, we have a contact us on dataspark.co where members of my team can help you with any Walmart question you have, or like I said, Amazon for that matter.
Oh, I absolutely love that. And I'm hoping, Justin, I don't know if you can or cannot, each night of the summit or each day of the summit in the evening, we are doing a live Q&A. So Justin may or may not be on the live Q&A. And if he is, you want to jump on and ask your questions. So have your questions ready because we always love live interaction. So in any case, make a note of this information so you can reach out to Justin because he is a wealth of information. So Justin, I am so glad that you and I had a chance to connect on the summit. I'm glad that you spoke. I hope all of you decide to go ahead and get an account, set up your account today. And then once you set up your account, let us know how your business is improved. If you're selling on Walmart, let us know how your business is improved over the next 6 months. Let us know the impact because we would love to hear those stories. I think this, like I said, my business partner has been using it. I haven't played with it as much as she has. So she just tells me what I need to go look for. Then I go do the work because I'm the person who loves to put together the bundles. She always says that bundles is not her ministry. And I'm like, yeah, bundles is mine. So you give me the data and we'll make data-driven decisions and I will go find the products. So I'm good at that. And then, so I hope that you all will take the opportunity to grab your DataSpark account and consider upgrading to the All Access Pass because, again, there's going to be a lot of amazing bonuses, including the 75% off. And you will definitely make all your money back if you use the data that comes out of this tool to make data-driven decisions. So, Justin, thank you so much for being part of the summit. We are so glad that you're here.
Thank you. Always a pleasure. I love being on these calls with you because you've got so much energy that you bring to this and so much passion that I always walk away more energized than when I started. So thank you for that.
I know it's a problem. It's a curse sometimes. But in any case, I love watching Monk. If you've ever seen the show Monk, I
Oh,
love
yeah.
that. And he would always say it's a blessing and a curse. But in any case, I do want to thank you for being part of the summit. And guys, this has been another edition of the eCom Seller Summit. We are going to say goodbye for now.